When we're at the shelter and they walk in our doors, they're beat and battered and broken, and they're doing everything they can to make themselves look small. The whole concept of domestic violence deals heavily and strongly with power and control. Well, Laurel House is Montgomery County's only comprehensive domestic violence program in the sense that we provide the full continuum of services. We have a 24-hour hotline. We have a 30-day crisis shelter. We have an emergency response team that responds when called from police departments or medical facilities, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We have our community counseling program where we provide free, confidential, one-on-one and group counseling. We have support group through that program in 5 different places in Montgomery County.
We take women and children who are in imminent danger from domestic violence, so these women and children need a place to go that is safe. We offer a variety of different services, so I mean, for starters, a safe roof over their head, we're taking them out of the abusive situation. It is a 30-day shelter that has changed in the last year with housing services changing in our county. So women are staying much longer. I would say the average stay is anywhere from 60 to 90 days.
Things that come into play when dealing with domestic violence are, things like you hear the cycle of abuse, and that whole concept is that you can't. It's very hard to break in the sense that you have a situation and then you hear them. I'm so sorry. I want to. I'll never do it again, and you forgive them, and that goes on for so long. But then at some point you begin to believe what you're being told. If you're coming into our shelter program, we have a core set of things that we're working on with people. We're doing safety planning with everyone that comes into the program. We're trying to help everyone find housing because they can't stay in our shelter forever. So there are some core things that are going to look alike for everybody that comes in, but then all those little details are all very different. In order to get into one of our support groups, typically the process is you call the hotline, or you call into our administrative offices, because you heard of us in one of those ways that I mentioned, and you talk with our director of counseling, and she has a conversation with you just to kind of give you an idea of the kinds of folks that are coming to group, kind of talk to you about where you are in your situation, and then kind of schedule you for an intake. You have a core set of people that you see every week at group. Group happens every week. And then you'll have the folks that kind of come for a session, and then you don't see them for a few weeks, and then they come back. And what you're seeing is in those groups, it's kind of cool because you have the full spectrum of where someone could be as it relates to domestic violence. So some of the folks that are sitting in group are still with their abusers. Some of the folks that are sitting in group have been gone for 25 years. And it pulls in a really neat sense of community and support, because the folks that have been out for so long can give some positive outlooks to the folks that haven't really been able to make that step yet.
When women get here, they are assigned a full-time counselor advocate, which is more or less like a case manager. I mean, they don't have to pay for any of their meals. We provide food here. If they are in need of clothing, we can give them that kind of stuff. We help them, situate their children in school. We have a full-time child advocate that works here that offers those kind of services. As time progresses and they're here longer, you kind of see them get out of that slump, and kind of do things for themselves. I mean, we believe in empowerment. We are advocates to our core, and we help individuals, connect with different resources and organizations. But ultimately, we believe in empowerment and giving these women some of that independence back.
When you're experiencing with a woman her aha moment, whatever that may be, maybe it's finally realizing that she is strong enough to leave. Maybe it's her finally being able to say, I didn't deserve that. You know, whatever that aha moment is.
It's really refreshing to see that kind of progression, you know, from, you know, a woman coming in here and just being completely like depleted and, you know, overwhelmed and just kind of depressed and just not wanting to do anything, you know, until, till 2 months later, and she's up, you know, has a more positive attitude, you know, she feels encouraged to go out and make a better life for herself and her children.
When I see them walk in the door, even if they have bruises and cuts and broken bones, I don't see weak. You know, I see just tremendous strength. And so the coolest thing is when they begin to see that too. Watching that transformation to begin to see themselves the way we're seeing them, you know, when they're coming into the program. And that's pretty much the coolest thing that I get to do.
In September of 2014, TMZ released video of Baltimore Ravens running back Ray Rice striking his wife in an elevator and knocking her out cold. This was followed by multiple allegations of domestic abuse from other NFL athletes.
We have seen some changes in being able to have conversations with people who wouldn't ever begin to entertain this being something they would want to talk about. Just even more openly being able to talk with men about it in general. It's pretty cool. Like, men alone are sitting around a bar having a conversation about this, and that I don't think would have ever happened prior to this. I think that in the long run there could be some revenue that comes from this. And again, it's kind of a horrible thing because it's all at the expense of this family's trauma. And I don't like that. But it is giving us an opportunity to talk, and we're not gonna miss out on that opportunity. We believe that males can be victims. We also believe very strongly that this isn't gonna change until men are a part of the process with us. I mean, it's not like there aren't men that are on board, but it just needs to be a united front. I mean, most things are accomplished that way. On the small scale, we're doing an event in May called Walk a Mile in Her Shoes, which is literally men walking a mile in red high heel shoes to show their awareness and support of domestic violence and sexual violence against women. And I think it's a fun event, so it's a very serious topic, but it's a fun event, so it puts a little spin on it. It gives men and women the opportunity to sort of come together and say that we all feel that this is a not okay issue, and we need to talk about it.